I feel like it's been ages since I actually filmed in front of my bookcase. But hi guys, welcome back to Careyberry. I'm Carey and this is my February wrap up, I guess. February has not been a good reading month for me. I've been really struggling. I've had a lot going on and it's made it really difficult to actually pick up a book. So this is going to be a really short wrap up. I only read 3 books and yeah, I've really been struggling a lot with wanting to read and like wanting to make videos. I had so many plans for like the break I was gonna have in February and like how much content I was gonna make to prepare for when I was busy, and also how much I was gonna read. Like I really wanted to pick up books but at the same time I just didn't, and yeah, it was a struggle, but I'm hoping that in March I can kind of read some more. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first book I read this month was The United Circus by Erin Morgenster. I did film a vlog for this, so I won't speak too much about it because I filmed a whole vlog. I dread to think how long that is going to be when I come to edit it, because it started off as a vlog about my uni week and then I just didn't read a lot, so it ended up being like uni night circus. But I do have a vlog coming for that and you will see all of my thoughts. I also spoke about this on my Instagram a bit, and yeah, I really adored this book. I mean, it was absolutely no surprise to anyone because I loved The Starless Sea. The Starless Sea was my favourite book. I think that The Night Circus has taken that, and yeah, I just adored the way it was written. It was just so magical, and I was really lucky that I was actually reading this during like a period of snow, so it just felt even more magical, and I just adored it. So I rated this 5 stars. The United Circus, if you don't know, is about a circus that just pops up without any warning. It just appears, and you kind of follow different people throughout the circus. So the circus is really a backdrop for this magical competition, where there are 2 people that are chosen between like rival magicians, and then they've got to compete, and the circus is kind of like their stage for this competition, but for quite a while they don't know who the other is, and yeah, it's an incredible book. I really adored this. It was really slow in places, but it was just so beautifully written that it really made up for it. So yeah, would really recommend this. Just absolutely beautiful writing. Okay, so the next book I read was The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. So this comes out in March and I was very lucky to receive an arc of it from Legend Press, and I'm very thankful. Again, I have got a vlog, well, not a vlog, I'm going to do books as bakes for this, and talk about it in more detail and then release it on, I think, March 11th. I'm taking place in a like Bookstagram tour for it, so I'm gonna release a video on that day and you can see me bake, which I'm gonna film after this, and just talk about the book a bit more. So if you don't know, this was also in my most anticipated releases, so I'm really thankful that I actually got it. But The Lost Apothecary is about an American tourist who comes to London and she finds this little vial, and she starts looking into the history of it and kind of discovers a story. So it flashes between 2 ages, so the present and like the 1700s, when Nella and Eliza were there. So it follows the story of the apothecary, and it's a tricky one. So the apothecary used to sell poisons, but they would only sell them to women and they could only be used on men. So you've got this like string of like murders following that only men died from and no one knew why. So it was really interesting and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I think I rated this. So I started using Corpile, and when I put this through, it came out as a 4 stars, but I think I might whack it down to 3 because I'm trying to be more kind of rigorous in my ratings, and I don't know, it just didn't quite feel like a 4 star to me, especially like when I compared it to other reads. Not that you should compare them too much, but I was like, these both can't be 4 stars, you know. So yeah, I think I did have a few issues with this. Again, I will go into more detail with those in my Books as Bakes video, but yeah, there were a few things that I didn't love, so I think it should be a 3 star rather than a 4. But again, like 3 stars is good, I really enjoyed it, but it just doesn't quite have that 4 star feeling to me. I don't know if that makes sense. And then the final book I read in February was The Shadow in the Glass by J.J. Harwood. I read this on my Kindle. Yeah, so I read that on my Kindle and it was okay. I loved the atmosphere from it, so I think that J.J. Harwood did a really good job at making this gothic atmosphere, and that was really good. At times I couldn't quite tell what age it was pegged at, so I thought it was YA, and as I started reading it, it was YA, but then it dealt with a lot of like darker topics and I realised it was actually adult fiction, but it follows a young adult essentially, and it's kind of this gothic, almost Cinderella retelling. I think it was Cinderella, and it, so I don't know how to explain this, but essentially there's a girl who is a maid, well, like a maid house servant kind of thing, under this awful man who essentially sleeps with all his staff, gets them pregnant and then sends them packing, because back then if you were pregnant it was bad, so you'd get the boot. And yeah, so she's really struggling, and so she makes this deal, because it's so hard to explain this, why. She makes this deal with a kind of like demon to sell her soul in exchange for, I think it's 6 or 7 wishes, and she starts to realise that each time she makes a wish someone dies, and you kind of follow her as she encounters all these horrible things and tries to make the wishes and doesn't want to. And yeah, I loved the premise of the book, and I just didn't like the execution. It was a strange one, because I liked the writing, like of the general kind of background and the descriptions. I just didn't love the characters. I didn't like the main character, Ella or Eleanor. She goes between the two, and yeah, I just didn't love her character. I thought some of the other characters were quite bland and they didn't quite like make sense. They could have been more dimensional, I think. There was a bit of queer baiting as well. Like there were these 2 girls who it was like hinted and implied that they were kind of together, but in that kind of like gal pals way where you're like, are they, aren't they? And it was never kind of touched on. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think it was quite an easy read. Like once I got into it, I really got into it. But yeah, it was just missing a lot of things for me, and it was all really convenient. Like it was one problem after the other that could have been fixed if she'd just like used her brain and common sense at the start. But yeah, I had a lot of issues with it, but it was enjoyable. It was quite predictable, but it was enjoyable. So yeah, I think I rated that 3 stars. But yeah, so that is it for this video. It has been a short one, but I knew it would be because I only read 3 books. So here's the hoping that March goes better for me. I am hoping so, because it's the Tis the Damn Readathon and I'm quite excited for that. So yeah, my brain, it's been so long. It's been so long since I actually filmed a video standing up as well, and I'm like really disorientated right now. But yeah, please leave a like on this video, comment what did you read in February, what was your favourite read, and have you read any of the books that I've read? 2 of mine were arcs, of course. I forgot to say, but Shadow in the Glass was a NetGalley arc. So yeah, and yeah, so just comment down below because I really love interacting with you guys in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye guys.